Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you already know that the Dallas Cowboys, despite their storied history and loyal fan base, are facing some serious challenges. The team is currently sitting at a rather frustrating record of 3-4-1, and let me tell you, the numbers tell a story that's not entirely flattering. Their defense, which used to be a hallmark of how they built their identity, is now among the worst in the league. But what's really standing out is their inability to get after the quarterback. And that, my friends, is a critical issue in today's NFL where pass rushers are king. It's no secret that a dominant pass rush can turn the tide of any game, and right now the Cowboys are sorely lacking in that department. Part of the problem stems from the Micah Parsons trade, which, to be honest, hasn't done the Cowboys any favors this season. Sure, Parsons is still a game wrecker, but the overall pass rush has suffered because the team just isn't getting enough pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And let us be clear, if the Cowboys want to make a serious run this year, especially in the playoffs, they need to bolster that pass rush. They need someone who can provide that extra juice off the edge, someone who can help them not just for a few plays or for half a season, but for the long haul. And that's where the recent rumors and predictions come into play. Because, folks, the NFL trade deadline is just around the corner, set for November 4th, and if there's one thing we can be certain of, it's that the Cowboys are going to be active. Rumors are swirling that they are eyeing a significant move to address their pass rushing woes, and one name that keeps popping up is Germaine from the New York Jets. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, isn't he coming off an injury? And yes, that's true. Johnson suffered a torn Achilles last year, which definitely slowed his production this season. But as he gets further away from that injury, the potential for him to regain his 2023 form is very real. Let us take a moment and dig into those specifics. Johnson was a Pro Bowler as a rookie in 2022, and in that season, he was a force with 5 sacks. He showed a ton of promise, and many experts believed he was on the cusp of becoming one of the league's top pass rushers. But like many players coming back from a torn Achilles, this year has been a bit of a setback. He has only managed to record 1 sack so far. That said, the fact that he is under contract with the Jets through 2026 and has a cap hit of just $13.4 million next season makes him an attractive target for the Cowboys. It's not just about adding a rental, it's about acquiring a player who can be part of the team's future. Now, the Jets' asking price for Johnson has been reported to be high, possibly a second-round pick or better, but as the trade deadline approaches, you can expect that price to come down a bit. The Jets are in a bit of a rebuild mode, and with Johnson not being a part of their long-term plans right now, they might be willing to negotiate. And let us be honest, the Cowboys could definitely use an edge rusher of Johnson's caliber. Remember, back in 2023, he had that breakout year with 5 sacks, earning his first Pro Bowl nod. That kind of production, combined with his contract situation, makes him an ideal fit. But what about his recovery? Well, that's a big question mark, but most experts agree that the further he gets from his injury, the better he'll return to his previous form. The low sack total this season might actually work in the Cowboys' favor, keeping his price lower than what it would be if he was putting up double-digit sacks. Plus, if Johnson can get back to or surpass his 2023 form, it's not unreasonable to think he could even be extended beyond 2026, turning this trade into a long-term investment rather than just a one-year fix. And think about the implications. If the Cowboys do manage to land Johnson, they not just filling a need for the rest of this season, they potentially setting up for a brighter future on defense. Johnson under contract for a few more years, with a cap hit that's manageable, means they not just making a splash for the playoffs, but building a foundation. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the other teams interested in Johnson, and the rumors are indeed flying. There are reports that the Giants, Rams, and even some other NFC teams are watching Johnson's situation closely. But the Cowboys, with their need for a reliable edge rusher and their cap space, seem like the perfect match. It's a move that makes sense on so many levels. They get a young, talented player with proven production who is still in his prime, and has room to grow if he can stay healthy. And let us not forget the bigger picture here. The Cowboys are in a division with the Eagles, who are playing outstanding football, and the Giants, fighting to stay relevant. Improving their pass rush isn't just about winning games. It's about staying competitive within the NFC East, which has become one of the most fiercely contested divisions in the NFL. A dominant pass rush can be the difference maker in those tight division battles. Now, beyond Johnson, there are other rumors about potential targets: Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, even some whispers about other edge rushers that could shake up the trade deadline. But Johnson's profile, his contract, and his potential make him one of the top priorities for the Cowboys. It's a move that could tip the scales in their favor, especially if he finds his way back to that 2023 level. So what does this all mean for you, the die-hard Cowboys fans? It means that the front office is actively working behind the scenes to turn things around. It's about making smart, strategic moves that not only help this team now, but also position them for future success. It's about recognizing where the weaknesses are and addressing them decisively, not just throwing money at a problem or hoping it goes away. And I can tell you, the enthusiasm among the fans is palpable. Everyone wants to see this team back in the playoffs, competing for titles, and making that deep run we all dream about. A trade for Johnson could be the spark that ignites that fire. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, Cowboys fans, the next few weeks are going to be critical. The trade deadline is always a hectic time, filled with surprises, deals that can change the course of a franchise. If the Cowboys pull off this trade, it could be a game-changer, adding a player who, if healthy, can bring that edge-rushing punch the team desperately needs. It's about creating pressure, disrupting offenses, and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. If Johnson can regain his form, he has not just a short-term fix, he has a cornerstone piece, a player who can elevate the entire defense. And remember, this is not just about this season. If Johnson performs well and shows he has still got that elite talent, the Cowboys could extend him, turning this acquisition into a long-term investment. That kind of foresight is what separates good teams from great ones. Building a defense that is consistently disruptive takes smart moves and patience, and right now the Cowboys are looking to do just that. So, for all of you watching and rooting for the star, stay tuned. The next few days could be filled with exciting news, rumors turning into reality, and maybe, just maybe, a new face in that Cowboys uniform. The NFL trade deadline is always unpredictable, but one thing is for sure: the Cowboys are in the mix, and they're not sitting still. They're making moves, making bold choices, and aiming to get back to the top. Now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Johnson is the right fit? Are you excited about the possibility of this trade coming to fruition? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Thanks for being here, and as always, stay passionate, stay loyal, and let us keep the hope alive.